Thank you, Cathaoirleach. I have to admit now, I do love when I hear members of Fianna Fáil referring to the crash, like as if it was something that just happened, over which they had absolutely no control. The fact is that the two gentlemen that have just been exchanged, the two deputies there that have just been exchanging, are both members of parties who were capable of agreeing the last 4 budgets. So it is a bit rich to come in and give out when, in actual fact, both were involved in the process. But you know, that's not going to help SMEs. They don't want to hear that. What they want to hear is that the Minister understands. So it's not helpful when the Minister says, when he refers to, and I take the point about start-ups, but about this microfinance normally being very risky. This is not the same situation. These are not, you know, a couple of young fellas with a dream. These are viable businesses that had to close because of a global pandemic, and they want to reopen and they want to get back on their feet. What they're looking for is a hand up, not a dig out, as it were. But in order to be able to do that, there needs to be recognition that this is not microfinance in the normal run of things. This is unprecedented. These are unprecedented times, and they require an unprecedented response and an imaginative response. There is not the same level of risk as with a start-up. These are proven businesses. They were put, essentially, they are asleep. They just need sustainable help, and they need affordable help from the state. So what the amendment seeks to do is cap the interest rates at 2%. And as I've said previously, that's not a target, that's a cap. I welcome the Minister's offer to engage, and I am more than happy to do that. And I think that would be very, very useful. I would echo what Deputy McGuinness has said in relation to small to medium enterprises, the belief that they have not been listened to. And it might be, as Minister English says, that, you know, we were in the middle of a global pandemic and perhaps there wasn't time. Time exists now, and they need to be absolutely central, as do representatives of workers. When you're putting together your July stimulus, that needs to respond to the need of businesses and workers, because this recovery will not be built on the back of precarious employment and low wages. If there is to be a recovery at all, it has to be built on decent jobs, decent work and fair terms and conditions of employment. But as I have said, the amendment seeks to cap the interest rates at 2%. I don't think that's in any way outrageous. The Minister has said no one is trying to seek a profit, but we do need to absolutely factor in that this is not microfinance in the normal run of things. This is microfinance not for start-ups but for viable businesses, and that has to be reflected in the response and in the interest rates.
Comment, and thank Deputy O'Reilly for her comments. It's on Attorney General's advice, this is not the place to put this amendment into primary legislation. So that's why we don't support it. It's not that we don't support trying to get an interest rate that everybody can manage with and get access to funding. That's what we're doing. This loan process, that's exactly what it achieves. And I want to be very clear here, in case the debate is going off, because this often happens in debate, people try to take up one word. My reference to risky businesses, and to be fair, Deputy O'Reilly, you know this, and you'd be a little bit smart trying to change the debate, is in relation to the overall cost of this scheme and this loan. When I say it's not for profit, it's not for profit. They don't make profit here. Generally, finance of this nature to the past clients of MFI would have been high-risk money, would be high risk, or could be, not in all cases, and there's quite a high amount of unrepaid loans and unrepaid debts, which the taxpayer subsidises, and that's our job, to try to do that, to give those companies a chance to restart, to re-go, and we're prepared to do the same again and put the money in. It doesn't mean that I'm saying all the applicants are high risky at all. That's not what I'm saying, and please, it's unfair to keep referring to that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm being realistic here, though, with the cost of a fund like this, which is absolutely available to start-ups as well, and will continue to be, because there will be more start-ups. Likewise, in 2011, 2012, 13, we pumped a lot of money into start-ups, because that's how you create more jobs, because there will be some people who will not be able to get back to the career they had or the jobs they had, and we need to get in behind them and give them a new opportunity. So this fund is for that, but absolutely, in in these couple of months, it is for companies who want to borrow money at low cost and reopen and restart and go again. And that's what it's for. And that's why we're making changes to allow for that, because there's a massive demand. There's a tenfold increase in the applications, and we want to respond to that. But again, to be clear, this is only one. There are many, many other interventions from our department and across government as well. This is one of them. We'll be here every week for the weeks ahead with new schemes, new inventions, new imagination to try to push out the taxpayer's response to help business to grow jobs, because we all want to do that. And on that one we all would agree with. But this amendment does not belong in primary legislation. That's the argument I'm trying to make.
Thanks, Minister. Deputy O'Reilly.
I hear what the Minister is saying, and look, I may not necessarily agree with him, but I don't have access to the advice of the Attorney General, and going on previous forum, obviously it's not going to be shared directly with us. The Minister, I think, understands what I'm saying, and look, I wasn't the one that referred to risky businesses or high interest rates or start-ups. That was you. I was only quoting back the words that you used, okay? So it's not that I'm bringing that up. I wasn't. I was talking about viable businesses that need a bit of a hand. On the basis of the Minister's commitment to engage with us, Cathaoirleach, I won't press this amendment. What I will do is I will make arrangements, and my office will be in contact with the Minister's office to make arrangements for that meeting to happen at the earliest possible opportunity, because I do believe that there is a place for this amendment in the regulations if the Minister is willing, if it's not appropriate for primary legislation. So on the basis of the commitment given by the Minister, I'm not going to press this amendment, and my office will contact yours and we can arrange to meet in the very, very short term, because this obviously needs to be done as quickly as possible.
Section 7.